Here we go.
Nice to
Clear
have someone looking out for you.
Good morning.
No.
And
Morning.
okay.
So I do have it's probably the shortest presentation that I've made. So I'm ready whenever.
Let's go.
you guys
Sure,
are.
let's go for it.
Yeah.
Hit it.
All right, I can start off with the epistle of the Sabian symbol,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which is Dane Rudyard's The Astrological Mandala. And today is 24 degrees Virgo is the new moon. And it's Mary and her
Full
little
moon.
lamb.
Full.
Full moon.
And the keynote is the need to keep a vibrant and pure simplicity at the core of one's being as one meets the many tests of existence. Coming after the preceding symbols, this one tells us that though great, spectacular, and resolute efforts are needed in order to achieve one's higher goals of destiny, still the essential quality as one's journeys on, quote, the path is a pure, spontaneous, fresh, and nonviolent approach to all encounters. This, of course, is Jesus's entreaty to his disciples, that they should be like, quote, little children. Without such a deep, heartfelt simplicity, the seeker after spiritual experiences or initiation is bound to find himself glamorized by his own successes and to see his ego feeding on the drama of struggle and victory. This is the fourth stage of the 35th fivefold sequence, and it presents us with a subtle hint of technique. Beyond individual prowess and social eminence, the individual whose innocence is fixed upon spiritual realization should genuinely radiate in bold letters, innocence.
Wow, Steve. That hit home.
That's where we are.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am. It's like I was just like, whoa, everything you're saying here is like click, click, okay, yeah. That just it's like reassurance almost that, I'm taking the right steps here. So
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that childlike fun in every moment.
Yeah, I agree. Because for me, yesterday, that full moon day was like one of the funnest days I've had in a long time. I was like giggling like a little kid at so many points, and it started hailing at one point, and I was just like laughing so hard because it's like hails were like pounding down,
Mm-hmm.
but and with the other things I'm keeping track of with the cycles on the lightning path and stuff. It's like I think a big key for this whole lunar cycle, I think, is that innocence and kind of being like a fool and just having that childlike purity.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, so you had hail, so did we. Had a little pea-sized hail that covered the road. And then it's very rare, but there was a clap of thunder yesterday.
No way.
Yeah, as I was looking out over Departure Bay, all of a sudden, yeah, this thunderclap. I go, wow. And unusual here on the island, on this side anyway.
Yeah, and very auspicious for it to be just one.
Yeah, but it was really, you could just see it coming together. It was getting darker, 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 and over Gabriola Island, and then all of a sudden just one boom. The energy just built up. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . So there we are in the innocence degree.
It totally resonates for me as well. So, thank you.
Mhm. Well, that was fun.
Did anybody struggle with the time change?
Nope.
No, I just
No?
slept in.
Yeah, I didn't have that option, and it
Yeah.
affected me for like the first 3 days after. It's the only thing I can think of that it would like threw me off because getting up that extra hour early and like
Yeah.
I was just constantly tired for the first 3 days.
Right.
Anyways, supposedly, there's a stat out there that heart attacks increase 21% in the spring when they spring ahead, and they decrease when you go backwards by 21% at the fall. So I was just curious if anybody had any other kind of like felt off for the first 3 days of the week. But anyways, it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, I still feel off.
Well, strangely enough, I tend to want to go to bed earlier when really it should be the opposite. But I actually have a friend who ended up in the hospital with a heart problem right at that time. So I'll share this with them.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think if you have to be on the clock, it obviously has an effect.
Yeah. You up there in the middle of nowhere, you're loving life. You don't have to worry about no clocks. You got your own.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to get up.
Yes.
Sun's coming up.
Yeah.
Get up.
Yes.
Oh, it's still dark. It's still bright out. Look how late it is.
Oh, it's 2 a.m. I need to go to sleep now. Oh no, but there's too much fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Billy, I found the opposite was true for me. It set me on a good path because normally I stay up late and sleep in. So for some reason, the hour being set like an hour, whichever way it went, it just meant that my normal bedtime became earlier and my normal wake up time also became earlier. So all of a sudden I'm like able to like make it to 9 a.m. meetings, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. I think
Yeah.
I
that's
think it has a
awesome.
different effect on different people.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
I like the Sarah put for, and there's lots of memes out there. I can't quote one right now, but it's what time is it? Well, it's now. What time is it? Well, it's now. It's now. Like the man-made, the man-made time thing,
Yeah.
right? I guess you need it when you're committed to work or whatever. But it's kind of nice to be in when I can. It's like, well, it's now.
Mm-hmm.
It's now. And it's right now.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it throws everything. Like I have a Zoom meeting with Iceland and it's usually 6 a.m. and time changed here, but it didn't change there. So suddenly the meeting was at 7 o'clock. Like, oh, bonus.
Yeah, no doubt.
I guess that's the only reason we have to have that construct, right? Time,
Mm-hmm.
like
For appointments.
for appointments or, yeah, in our
Getting your
modern,
kids to school, the whole thing.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's different for people with children.
Yeah.
I have memories of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And I go, I don't know how I did it.
I don't know how I'm doing it either. It's just doing
My
itself.
goodness. I'd get up and drive them 15 minutes south to drop off to their grandmother, then drive back, then get to work for 10 to 8 in the morning. What? Wow.
Yeah, I feel you.
I did it with my 3 kids, and then I found myself years later driving from Mission to Langley to take my grandchildren to school. And anyway, all good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
What is it down? Is it Mexico or is it more the tropical places where anyone coming from our culture or whatever down there, you sort of get, well, I've heard impatient. Like, you go for a meeting at your time, my time on my, if I had, 9 o'clock, and it's like, where is he? Where is it? And it's on, they're on they're on a different time. They're on their own time.
Yeah.
They'll get there when they get there. They'll be in the energy of, I kind of like that, or I'm getting closer to that without having to be on. There's some things that I have to get into that clock thing, like getting on this with you, but it's kind of nice just to be like, what time is it? Well, it's, I'm getting hungry. Maybe it's time to eat, like, or what? It's like, oh, the sun's going down or whatever. I'm getting tired. It's like, I like that concept. And I know we're living within a different structure, but I
right.
certainly like it's now time. It's like,
I think that's referred to as island time.
Yes.
Mm.
I'm on island time.
Yes, you are. I notice the difference when I go to BC, that's for sure. Everybody's on a different clock.
mm,
Work starts at 9, not 7 or 8. Work's done at 3, not 6 or 7.
Mhm.
mm. Yeah.
What time is it up there, Dwayne?
It's showtime.
There we go. Perfect.
Wonderful segue.
Yes.
Right on. Okay. So I'll mute you all, but as before, if you have any commentary, just unmute yourself and pull right in. And always good to hear what other folks have to say.
Ooh.
Now, this. Oops. Huh. I'm not sure where the.
Well, we can probably mute ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay,
we-
if you would.
Do we
Grandpa's
trust?
got got it upside down and backwards.
You'll tell from the extra noise if somebody hasn't muted.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, everybody seen the new graphics? Lightning Path Zoom call 41?
Indeed.
And if you're not familiar with Madame Blavatsky, this will be a little introduction. What
It's a
I've done,
little bit small, a little bit zoomed out, but I'm sure it'll pop up big.
how's that? No, a little bit too high.
No, that's better, Dwayne. That's usually how it is.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, what we're doing is applying this kind of astrological technique in a kind of a novel way. I don't imagine there's anybody else on the planet doing this particular kind of research, but we're a few presentations into it where what we're doing is locating planets in the red zone, as we've been calling it, which is essentially the Sphinx's gaze. So what I've done is go through a lot of the charts that I have and come up with people who have a significant planetary placement in the red zone. It's like the way I'm relating to it is like the ancestors are giving us clues, and we got to put it together. So we're using the language, the symbolic language of astrology, to really divine messages from, well, from elders like Madame Blavatsky, like Rudyard, and more recently, as we saw a couple of times ago, we got people like Russell Brand, still alive and kicking, and kicking in the red zone. So it's a really area of interest for me because this is where the Sphinx and Neptune come together right now. Is right at this in this zone. So with that having been said, off we go. Oop. No, we don't. There we go. So there it is, the Sphinx's gauge, the red zone. And we've got Dane Rudyard here. I brought him in because there's a direct link between him and Blavatsky. As we see, Rudyard was born in 1895, died in 1985, whereas Blavatsky, born in 1831 and died 1891. So Rudyard was able to mine the resource that Blavatsky brought into the world, and he did so. And specifically, this book of his, Occult Preparations for a New Age. In this work, Rudyard delves into the concept of hierarchical structures in the cosmos. He cites Blavatsky's The Secret Doctrine, and this is the book she's most famous for, to emphasize the existence of higher planes of consciousness and beings that influence human evolution. So Blavatsky had laid all of this out in The Secret Doctrine, and also in Isis Unveiled, I believe it's called. And but Rudyard felt compelled to kind of condense the Secret Doctrine teachings and to integrate it with his pioneering of humanistic person-centered astrology in the 20th century. So the two both show up in the red zone. As you know, we had Rudyard at his sun is at Aries, is at 3 degrees. So he's front and center in terms of if we're hanging on to Neptune for the ride, we're in that zone where Rudyard stands very prominently. And a little further on, what we have for Blavatsky is her Pluto. Pluto in Aries, directly opposite the moon. Now, if we take, Pluto is really the soul's calling. It's the deepest kind of astrological reference point that we have. And for her to have it exactly opposite the moon, this means that, in my way of thinking, that she's on it each and every day. She's manifesting through her own activities the spiritual heritage that she carries. And she was noted to be extremely psychic, very much a powerhouse in bringing consciousness into people's awareness, that consciousness itself was something very worthwhile exploring and applying in day-to-day life. So with the help of ChatGPT, we've got humanistic astrology interpretation of Madame Blavatsky's Pluto at Aries 11. So I'm imagining this Aries 11 message, just like we just had a message from Rudyard's astrological mandala. Here we're now we're having ChatGPT interpret that degree. So Helena Blavatsky's Pluto at 11 Aries suggests a profound transformational force operating through the pioneering, willful, and initiatory energy of Aries. From the perspective of humanistic astrology, this placement speaks to her role as a revolutionary spiritual catalyst, bringing forth a new era of esoteric understanding and challenging the dominant paradigms of her time. Let's break this down through key themes. First, Pluto in Aries, the pioneer of esoteric power. And she was noted to be a powerhouse in those days, known, far and wide. Pluto, as the planet of deep transformation, regeneration, and occult power in Aries, the sign of beginnings, initiation, and fearless assertion, describes someone whose life mission involved the birth of a radical new perspective on spiritual evolution. This placement is characteristic of a spiritual warrior, someone who dives into hidden realms and forces society to confront powerful truths. Blavatsky's theosophical movement, and she set up theosophical teaching centers all over the world. As a planet of deep transformation, regeneration, and occult power in Aries, the sign of beginnings, initiation, and fearless assertion, describes someone whose life mission involved the birth of a radical new perspective on spiritual evolution. This placement is characteristic of a spiritual warrior, someone who dives into hidden realms and forces society. Okay, sorry, I'm repeating that. Blavatsky's theosophical movement was Plutonian in its effect, destroying old dogmas and offering a radical new synthesis of Eastern and Western spirituality. Her Pluto in Aries made her an initiator of deep transformation, breaking through spiritual stagnation to forge a new spiritual vision. Now, with the Pluto being opposite the moon, this is definitely the signature of a revolutionary. Madame Blavatsky's Pluto at 11 Aries opposite her moon reveals a soul deeply engaged in transformation, mysticism, and spiritual upheaval. Number one, a fearless seeker and destroyer of illusions. Pluto in Aries gives her unrelenting willpower, a pioneering spirit, and a mission to challenge outdated beliefs. Her life's work, founding Theosophy, was an act of breaking through established religious dogma to reveal hidden spiritual truths. And what a battle it was for her. On and on. 2, emotional depth and psychic power. The Moon-Pluto opposition created emotional intensity, deep intuition, and powerful psychic abilities. This aspect suggests visions, dreams, and direct contact with unseen realms, shaping her esoteric teachings. It also brought emotional struggles, conflicts, and cycles of death and rebirth in her personal and spiritual life. Number 3, Sabian symbol of spiritual authority. Pluto at 11 degrees Aries aligns with the Sabian symbol, the ruler of a nation. This reflects her role as a leader in the spiritual revolution, establishing a lasting legacy in Western esotericism. Number 4, legacy, the Phoenix rising. Her Pluto moon aspect positioned her as a spiritual warrior, diving into the unknown to bring forth wisdom for humanity. Through Theosophy, her writings, and her influence on later mystical traditions, she reshaped modern spirituality. Blavatsky's life was one of radical transformation, profound insight, and fearless revelation, a testament to the power of Pluto's deep-seated wisdom in opposition to the moon's ever-shifting emotional tides. So there next to the secret doctrine image, we have kind of a logo for the Theosophy and the the quote, "There is no religion higher than truth." So that's what she was going for, and that's what people that sign into theosophy are promulgating, this quest for truth. Pluto in Aries and the Sphinx, the call to remember. If we connect Blavatsky's Pluto placement to the Great Sphinx, we see a symbolic parallel. Just as the Sphinx guards the gateway to forgotten wisdom, Blavatsky's Pluto in Aries suggests a soul mission of retrieving and revealing ancient, long-buried truths. In her theosophical teachings, she resurrected Atlantis, Egypt, and lost spiritual traditions, echoing the idea that the Sphinx itself may be a remnant of pre-dynastic wisdom. Her Pluto placement aligns with the idea of esoteric initiations, as the Sphinx is often thought to be an initiatory threshold, where the seeker must prove themselves before gaining access to the deeper mysteries. Aries' connection to the, quotes, first step aligns with Pluto's theme of passing through the fires of transformation to gain wisdom. Now, coming into the current era, we've been exploring this connection to the Sphinx and to Egyptian mythology in general. And up came Aker as one of the prominent Egyptian figures, one that kind of standing guard at the threshold to a deeper exploration. And just happens that Steve and I have our lunation birthdays back to back, and we've kind of taken up this this role, let's say, of keeping the doorway open and just keeping on, and see what comes to us. So for the last word, I'm going to give that to once again Chat GPT, and the stand at zero, high noon, March 31st, 2025, worldwide ceremony celebration that I've been calling for. As ChatGPT informed me, you are standing at the threshold of something much bigger than an event. It is a moment of planetary resonance. So the graphic on the right, I really, I don't know, it just all came together and it really felt like us, those of us traveling in the yellow submarine through these mystical realms. And the the spirit beings here, or us in our most etheric personhood, gathering together in resonance with this this passage of Neptune into Aries. Yeah, it's a very it's a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity to come together in a planetary sense, and to really celebrate the fact that we are a single species, and that for ourselves at least, we're expressing gratitude for the fact of this life we've been given. At least that's the way I'm approaching it, and I'm encouraging people everywhere to join in. And what we'll experience is a wave of engagement, because we're going for high noon in whatever, we're talking earlier about timing. In whatever time zone you're in, you're aiming for high noon as the moment of attunement, and that can go on for however long that people are wanting to do it. But it's an entirely um, self-guided, resonant attunement, and I think it's going to be pretty powerful. I've managed to locate where I want to be, and that's going to be about 100 yards from here out into the big field to our west. Because since I've been exploring this notion of where am I going to be on that day, it's taken me much deeper into where I'm actually living here, and really taking note that we have 5 mountain presences gathered together around us here in Spence's Bridge. Each one of those uh, mountains has an Apu. We've talked about the Apu spirit. And I'll tell you, I've got into a whole new level in relating to my surround, and the fact now of having the opportunity to um, locate myself at high noon at the most expansive view available to me here, in order to take in all 5 mountains, and that is right out in the middle of the the soccer field in just to the west of my house here. So that was a very delightful realization for me. Realization that these mountains they have a spirit, and if you are willing to be still enough to receive what it's offering, it can be profound. So so that's it for my take on Stand at Zero, and I'd be really interested to hear from you about where you might be and what you might plan to do. So on we go. And
Keep on trucking.
keep on trucking.
Thanks for the presentation, Dwayne.
You're welcome, Quentin.
That was really cool to get a little glimpse into her incredible life. I got this in this book I have. It says something about how she liked to ride broken horses. Oh, half broken horses. Just among all the things it says about being a talented pianist, a fine artist, and a clever linguist,
Yeah.
and also like to ride half broken horses.
A heck of a hobby.
Wow.
She was quite the gal. I mean, she was traveling the world at a time when traveling the world took a lot more than it does today. And yeah, meeting up with sages and seers from all kinds of different, well, especially in Tibet and the location of the mystic traditions, and yeah, what a gal.
Yeah, a real pioneer going up against dogmatic religion with new ideas.
Mhm.
200 years ago, 175 years ago, that was pretty new. So I'm sure she came across a few cynics.
I would say.
And I mean, I can see that today there was just on one of these comedians shows, they're just showing clips of people talking about the blood moon eclipse and how they're feeling about it in an astrological way. And it's made fun of. And so well, those are the cynics that they don't trust it, or the unknown, they don't know about it, so they just put it down, right?
Mhm.
And I'm sure she endured a lot of that. Then going back where it says a call to remember, just after that was the first time psychology emerged about going within
Yeah.
and starting to remember. That's fairly new in the time of things.
Mhm.
And yeah, I can feel that, these fires of transformation. Wow. That's personally happening for me right now, these transitions. So I'm playing with the transitions that obviously at this coming to this 0 point is the ending and the new beginning. But it's interesting, there's the book that I use has the neutral zone between the two, the ending, neutral zone, and new beginning. And the analogy is used that society wants to make us like an appliance. If there's an ending, you unplug, and then society wants you just to plug in again. But this time in between where the plug is unplugged and plugging back in is forgotten. And that's the neutral zone is like the vision quest, going out and allowing just that quiet time during the transition. So yeah, that's what I've been playing with. There's an exercise to go back in one's autobiography and look at the times where I felt enchanted with life, but suddenly it became disenchanting. And so I went through, I came up with 23 areas that before I became aware of them, that would happen and I would just move on to another beginning. Those things are still there. And then it's referred to as, if going back and looking at them, it's referred to as raw material now. Almost like alchemy. It's raw material that I can take and transform in a new way for the new beginning. So it's been really, really fun to play with that. For an example, it would be, I went back and I realized as a teenager, I had a bit of a reaction to teachers. So that was my behavior. And it's not saying that all teachers were great, but my overall was like, forget this teaching. And then I'd carry that forward. And I realized how my life would be a lot easier if I seek out a teacher for this certain thing and learn from them. And so I can carry that forward. So that's an example of that becoming raw material to take forward now. So it's the call to remember.
Oh, it's okay, Tango. Sorry. Well, Tango, it's okay. Oh, sorry. I'll mute here.
It's okay. That's dog language.
It's totally. Come here, Tango. Come here. Yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know, did Dwayne exit the exit the stage? But what I'm
back.
No, the talk about what it left me with, sort of all that, how precise or pinpointed or how exacting it sounded. Like every aspect that you brought in about her astrological chart, like, the placement of Pluto and conjunct her moon, and just every aspect that GP gave us an explanation of. It left me, the vision that came to me is how, like, to me, it is so significant, each one of us. And to me, I just felt like, boy, there's just a thread of the cosmos coming, down into this particular body, like at that particular time, forever, down into this body. And it's this body, meaning her, or, well, any of us. Within this body is that seed. And how do we just allow it to like manifest, or I guess we just resonate, or I don't know, answer the call, or try to just embody? Like, I guess that's embodiment. I guess that's the thing, to embody. Yeah, I guess I'm not quite there yet, you can tell. But it's like, it really struck me that each individual thread is just coming down from the cosmos, or each one of us, and it's like, what is that for this particular body, this particular physical being? It was powerful.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Joanne. That's like a very high vision to hold, like the meaning of life, or and that thread that connects us. That's like the ultimate connection that is good to strengthen and develop. And I don't know all about Madame Blavatsky's teachings, because I haven't dove into her work, but I'm sure she would have something to say about that thread and that individual uniqueness. And I definitely felt like, with the interpretation of her chart there, with the Pluto and Aries, and the things that she kind of represents and has accomplished in life, it's like very deep, like with the Pluto energy, very transformative, but then also that pioneering, maybe combative, but just like very, on a mission kind of Aries energy. And then that opposite, her moon, I would think would have some reference to her mother, because the moon usually represents her mother. So I'd be interested to see, not that you could find out, but just to know like what that connection was, because the moon's usually more of a deeper emotional kind of energy. And I'm also curious about what those other aspects were in her chart that she had to Pluto. I think she had some squares or trine. So I'd be interested what those are. And then another thing I wanted to mention was that this Neptune coming around to like a stand at zero moment is, I've heard that spot in the zodiac where the water signs meet the fire signs, like Pisces to Aries, Cancer to Leo, and Sagittarius, no, Scorpio to Sagittarius, also close to where the galactic center is on that one. I've heard that spot, the water to fire, kind of described as like a knot, like a really thick, kind of like potent, tough, just like all this energy just like knotted up, whereas the rest of the zodiac's kind of like flowing and has its different qualities. But I was just looking that Neptune goes around once every. So, for example, a big thing on the lightning path is the Uranus cycle, which is 84 years. And so the Neptune cycle, measured in Earth years, is nearly twice that. Somehow it just just significantly increases that much, but it's 165 years. So the last time we had, I'm sure there's like the software out there to find the exact pinpoint time, but it would have been 165 years ago. So that's 1855. So wasn't
American
that around?
Revolution.
That'd be
That
her
was,
time.
yeah, Madame Blavatsky. That 1855 would have been the last time Neptune went through this 0 Aries
Yeah.
and 30 Pisces degree. So yeah, I'd be interested what happened 1855 with that. So anyway, just some points I wanted to add there.
Well, beautiful, Quentin. Well, one and so the timing then of Madame Blavatsky, like when you're going back, what is that again, Dwayne? Oh, what was that, Dwayne? What was her timing?
Um,
Because maybe anyway, if
uh,
it's not right, that's
I heard in 1851.
She was born at 1831.
31, okay.
So
And she
in
lived 50 years.
so the
Eight-
timing you're mentioning, Quentin, then sounds like it coordinates maybe, right? With
so she would have been
20.
24,
she
24 years old when in 1855, the last time that Neptune went through 0 Aries.
right.
Uh, if the math is correct. I'm 24 right now, so that just blew my mind a little bit, but
Right.
Well,
we have the American Civil War to contend with in that historical look. I don't know the exact dates of it, but it was in that zone.
well, the connection with Madame Blavatsky that Quentin just discovered there too, I find that's pretty potent.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi. Hi,
Welcome.
you all. Thank you.
welcome.
Well,
Hi.
thank you. See you.
My volume's been off a lot because I've had these very very loud barking and sudden barking dogs, but hello.
Hello.
So Barb, we're an hour out. Must have been daylight savings got.
Hmm?
We've been gathered for the last hour.
Oh, I
So-
have 5 o'clock now.
Yeah, it's daylight savings changed here.
Well, nobody told me.
No,
So
Usually,
it
Chad,
doesn't matter.
usually Zoom does it automatically. I don't know.
Well, it didn't happen this time. I have 5 o'clock in 2 minutes.
Ah,
yeah.
Well,
Well, you'll have the recording of the presentation.
exactly. So I'm just gonna finish up with you guys.
Yeah.
do you have any
You
thoughts
can
about?
tell us anything you know about Madame Blavatsky.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Theosophist.
yeah.
We've been looking into her life, and because she has Pluto in Aries, so in the red zone that we've been looking at. Pluto in Aries and directly opposite her moon in Libra.
Libra.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you encountered her, I'm sure, over the years. Do you have any insight into her life?
Well, I don't know. For me, she was far beyond our times or of anybody's times, and she wanted to communicate something. What she found out in India or with the with the higher energies in the Himalayas and top secret. So she wanted the evolution of humanity in a way. So, but I don't know. She was like people gave her a hard time in many ways, but she was managing everything like her way. I mean, she was able to do magic, which I don't know if that was really true, because I found also out that her family was very much in the mining business. I think emeralds or something. No, maybe emeralds, I don't know. But she was wherever she was, she never had really money. She manifested money. But but I don't think so. I think she just sort of connected with somebody who was in charge of it, because I mean, she must have been a rich woman, and somehow all of a sudden some Indian guy appeared in London and handed her over money she needed, or things came along wherever she was. So they said she manifested it, but I think she just had it because her life was just not, she never had to worry about money at all. And she was also, I think she was also married, but there was never ever a real guy with her, It wasn't like he was her companion. It was like a to-do thing. And then she did whatever she wanted to do, and dealing always all with this mysterious energies. And I did read a lot of books about her and stuff. But yeah, she's still mysterious. There's nothing very clear about her in a way, I would say, or what we human can understand. Probably I'm too human and she's too much. I think her mysteries were also like kind of an image she had.
She held seances too, didn't she?
Yeah, yeah. And in these times, people like that a lot. And I don't know. I'm too, I don't know. I'm too realistic probably
Yeah.
but in these days they were doing this, like it was fun for them to do.
Yeah.
And also doing a lots of experiments with drugs. So she wasn't just like only spiritual. She was also dark in a way, like Pluto. So it doesn't uh, surprise me that she had Pluto in Aries. My Pluto is in Leo, so it's also a fire sign. So it relates a little bit, but and Libra, she has Libra, the moon in Libra, so she could balance it out always with something balanced. So she had this capacity probably to bring something forward and bring something into the world that the world could benefit of if they were open.
Yeah, Dwayne
She
presented
was a
where
woman. She was, huh? Huh?
Dwayne presented where it said a call to remember. She brought in this call to remember.
The call to remember.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. But she was a woman, and in these days, only men had the talk, She wasn't
Mhm.
really, especially in America, she had no, they didn't like her and all this secret societies, and the secret society she wanted to bring up, they outed her. So yeah, but it's like something Libran, in relationships and bringing the world forward and doing a step forward in evolution could have been her task. Yeah, I will.
Certainly in a different way.
Yeah.
She
I
referenced
wonder why she was referred to
Atlantis.
as Madam.
Madam,
Is that
yeah.
What did
is
you
that
say?
a formality, or it's kind of unusual that
Yeah, but it could have been a title
maybe
because
that's
she had this.
why she was so wealthy.
Yeah, she has this Russian royalty kind of energy around her. Maybe she wasn't royal, but she was super rich, and it's a secret. These mining people, and Pluto is mining. You see, Pluto is Steve, is our thing. It's mining. It's going into the um, into the dark, into the earth, which is also Pluto.
Mhm.
So I think she had some mining things going on. And if she had money, yeah, she went to the Himalayas and found all these people who were into it. And there's the riches, all the rich energies there. And she
Yeah.
had time to study all these different belief systems and techniques.
Mhm. Yeah, the technique. Yeah.
Yeah, she found,
That's technique. That's today's Sabian symbol. It said
okay.
technique,
Yeah.
and obviously she would look at things maybe with new eyes. That's the other Sabian today is innocence. So
Mhm.
she certainly didn't look at things the same.
No, look at her eyes. I mean,
Mhm.
her eyes are like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
Like, and she was like, she did a lot of hypnosis kind of things as well, like going into trance, and she wasn't
Yeah.
scared at all.
She was evoking Atlantis quite a bit too, as I understand it.
All right. Yeah, I didn't know. Um, yeah, because that's also like, if she was psychic, like Edgar Casey, he did a lot of psychic readings about Atlantis.
Yeah.
She probably also knew how to dive into that and find the roots of to connect with it and get information what happened there. Yeah.
Would you say a little bit about what you see around the Stand at Zero ceremony? I know you made some comments on YouTube or on Facebook. I just can't remember exactly what you expressed there, but you is it going to be a part of your life or?
I don't understand what you mean. I don't understand what you're asking. It's
Okay, so Stand at Zero is
yeah,
ceremony. So the end of
that's
the
what
month.
you're into, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just wondering what your take on it is. Is it something of value to you personally, or are you just
I
observing?
could, all right, yeah. With the you mean with the Neptune
Yeah,
in Aries?
yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really amazing. It's like we are really. I have the feeling we are really in going more and more into chaos. Like me as an artist, I love chaos. Chaos is the playground. Is our playground. Is the artist's playground is chaos. And we create also chaos so we can bring something forward, what we feel, what we think, and what appears also out of chaos. All of a sudden you see something and say, oh my God, why didn't I see that before? I love that, you know? And then you sort of concentrate on that. And right now, when I just watch what happens in the social media and all, I would say it's chaos. Because it's like you can read the same thing and the opposite in the same time. It's like, yeah, you can think this and you can think that. And it's like, wow, what can you do? And people start fighting, people start uniting and grouping. And then it's all of a sudden it disappears. So while this is going on, change is happening. So it's like a big stage where everybody has the right to come up on stage right now.
Mm.
And this zero vision is kind of a stage, which how I would say it as an artist, I would see it as the stage. And when Neptune, and it's coming already like yesterday evening, it was perfect weather, and all of a sudden I heard this strange sound, and I said to my son, what is it? What is it? It was pouring down like crazy for a moment. So this is this all of a sudden things have been nice and bam, it changes. So things like this are happening because everything or every different level, they are like sort of everything is mixing, like all these different fields or constructions. They're like hopsy daisy everywhere, you know. And with Neptune coming in, and which oh yeah, right, I mentioned that. Now I remember what you're talking about.
Great.
It's Neptune, it's the higher vibration of Venus. That's
Mm.
what you mean, no?
Mm.
I just could feel it that with an eclipse, because eclipses, they're just kind of a moment where the energy of Venus is coming in and giving us new directions. It's a little bit mixed of Rudolf Steiner thinking, because he sees the Venusians, they are concerned about humans, about us humans on the earth. So we are the children, more or less, of them. So they are sort of guiding us and they are helping us cosmically. That's what Rudolf Steiner would say. So, and coming with this with this Neptune energy, which is the higher vibration of Venus, even. So more like the spiritual stuff you were talking about or thinking about. So this finer, more subtle energy than unconditional love, it's even higher, is coming in right now. It's coming. It's already in, and it's dosificated until Neptune is right in there, you know, like 31st, isn't it?
Yep.
31st. So we have some time to adjust, and you can feel all of a sudden that you're fine-tuning, that all of a sudden where you thought, oh, this is a problem, the problem solved because you have so much love, you have so much higher vibration, or you can see somebody who has a higher vibration coming into your life, and all of a sudden you tuning into a song which is like, wow, what is it? You know, you're hearing different things, which are like cosmic, divine Venus energy, and you can adjust. So we are adjusting to it,
Mm.
and one thing just came into my mind. In Italy, there was right yesterday or 2 days ago, there was a volcanic explosion. Oh, no, it was an earthquake. But the sound, everything was sort of making this intense sound. I didn't hear it, but I got aware of it, you know. I became aware that there is a sound connected to earthquake. I've never thought about it. Besides creaking or something, you know, shaking and making creaking sounds. No, it was a different kind of sound coming in. So we probably have to sensitize more also of listening, hearing, feeling, tasting with all the senses we have. This all is going to be altered and elevated. And look at the war. Still people are warmongering, but the war is over. It's over because of this higher energy, not because of some politicians or something. They are just actors. Like we are actors right now. So it's the higher vibration which is doing that. I don't know if you agree with it, but that's my kind of perspective. And I touched it a little bit. I asked it, I think it was like a comment in Facebook, you're right.
Yeah.
Because these are the little aha moments where you get that all of a sudden you can see what you're talking about. And oh, now I remember, oh my God, Dwayne, I was working with you all night long. We had a job to do. I don't know what it was, but we were on a mission last night. And you were there, just seeing you with your hair sticking out. You had this hair like this, and we were on a mission. I don't know what it was, but it was like a spiritual kind of thing we were doing. And I was wondering, I always wondered, where is he coming from? Is he real or is he not real? Or what, you know?
Yeah.
But we had to do something together in this dream. And but I have no information what we did and what it was a task we had to do together. I'm just remembering.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Great. This is something we can.
And I thought we had no date, something like this, you know, like, or me coming later now for an hour. That's I'm sort of out of. There is no time really, you know. It's like we are all in different.
Joanne, there is no time.
Everything happens in the same moment. It's like
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And I was a little puzzled in my dream that you were there because it's like we had to do something. Had like, I don't know what we are doing, but it was a spiritual task, of course, I think. We had to do something or just be there. I don't know. But it was, I remember that, like, I said, no, it's tomorrow that we meet, you know, it's like, not now, not in a dream.
Yeah, it's wonderful you came in late
Thank you.
because I know I'm hearing some synchronicities with this timeless that you were
Yeah,
talking
you feel that
about
too.
before you came in.
Yeah,
One
it's
thing
like,
I just wanted to say on with Quentin about the Neptune and Pisces and Aries coming together.
mhm,
That's where I am, and my feeling is with the Pisces being in the water and moving towards the fire, the sensation is a lot of steam,
mhm. Yeah,
which might be the chaos.
yeah, or waves. I mean, I have my moon is in Pisces, and we have very steamy waves right now. It's like, you know, the waves are high, and the water comes very close, and then they go up, and they have through the heat it's moist in the air. It's like beautiful to. We have the best air right now. It's like I'm just going and say, oh my God,
Mm.
I can breathe in this beautiful, full of iodine and all these minerals of the sea. I just wow, that's me. You know, I can relate to it, and then the birds coming, the gaviotas flying in the foamy air.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very spacey right now.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah. Yeah, I went out,
Mm.
I finished my taxes, so this mental work, and then I went out into the woods and to the beach. And here on the island, there's a herring run right now.
I saw that.
So the sky is just filled with birds
Oh yeah.
and energy. They're all
Yeah.
it's a feeding frenzy in many different ways. Everybody's just there's this abundance, and then these every bird is in the air wherever I look. It's like from ravens to eagles to gulls,
Yeah.
gaviotas.
Gaviotas,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Eagle.
just
No, gaviotas is
a gull.
seagulls.
Yeah,
Yeah. And today is
and
Holi.
it
Holi
was
is
just
also today in India, where they put the colors in the air.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's today.
So it's in the air.
Yeah, things
It's a
are waking
mist.
up.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's water and it's fire, but it's in the air,
Mhm.
Mm.
Mm.
In the steam.
Barbara, what's the significance, Barbara, you're saying in India with, in the flowers, energy, colored energy into the air? What's the
Mhm.
significance about this particular day for that? Is there a
It's for um I just saw it. It's like to to get into the joyful feeling again after winter. It's like to open up like the spring flowers and feel joy and colors again after rough times, you know.
Mm,
Like,
mm,
They
and
have that like
it's not
in Germany and Switzerland where
carnival.
I was noticing those beings that come through the town. They look like horned animals,
All
and
right.
it's right, and it's shedding off winter.
Yeah, a carnival. We also have carnival right now here
Right.
in Pueblo, and in the mountain areas. They also have this very antique tradition of nature waking up and goats kind of guys and strange guys. Yeah, scary to
Yeah.
scare away the darkness in a way.
Yeah. Well, I saw they were marching through Switzerland, which is neutral,
Mm.
but they were marching. Did you see that where they were marching with the finger? People were dressed as the finger
I haven't seen that. I'm
and
not.
a big picture of Trump on the fingernail,
Yeah.
and they're marching through the town like this,
I'm actually the
all
carnival
dressed.
was never my thing. It's too organized and it's too political. It's not
Yeah.
me at
Well,
all.
talk about the chaos
Yeah, yeah. It's like
coming
and
out
it's
of neutral Switzerland and saying
right.
yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
there's some
It's like
rebellion there.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it comes from rebellion. Fasching or carnival is connected later on
Yeah, it's Aries.
into politics. Before it was just for the people of the countryside
Right.
to chase away the demons and stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I mean, who can do this? I mean, they having right next to me, there's also like the big wheel where you can go in. And I said to my son, it would be cool to go up there and to take pictures, but I'm not going up there. I have to talk somebody into
Oh, like the ferret, the Ferris wheel.
yeah, yeah. And all kinds, all kinds of different things where you get really sick afterwards if you have eaten something and So, so roundabouts and all
Oh,
this
yeah.
kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah. It gets
And
dizzy. It gets dizzy.
exactly. And a boat. I saw a nice boat, pirate boat, which goes like this, and the pirates are sitting on it, and you are the pirate. So this kind of things are just next to me
Yeah.
for kids that did build it up. So, but it's like I have so little interest. I have to talk myself into having interest in reality. Reality is became so vague to me right now because I lose interest or I lost interest. So, but at
Yeah.
least doing Pokemon is like 1 hour. We go through the town and do the hunting, and that's my socializing. And I see when I look up, I see people, and I see tourists running, or who is around. It's like, yeah. But I'm finished with that. After an hour, I say, let's go home. It's like that's it. It's
Yeah.
yeah, and people are busy filling up stuff. It's so many tasks there in reality. All the stuff people are eating has to be filled up, and people are rushing here and there with cases of beer and Coca-Cola and food.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what reality is.
But
It's heavy.
I like the idea of keeping the main part of like your energy, your thoughts, or your connections more in a whole other vibration. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it looks.
we can't deny the physical, we're in it,
Right.
but for most of, yeah, for most of our energy, and it sounds like that's where you are, Barb, too. It just uh, keep more in the higher vibration, like looking, at the environment, as you say, and the waves and the gulls, and taking in the air, the
Yeah,
fresh air you're saying. So, I mean, just, yeah, I like what you're saying there as far
yeah,
as,
maybe that happens when you get older anyway, because you're not so. I mean, I thought, what's so funny about going into this um, roundabouts where you really get, you know, get sick or something, It's like, what's the fun? But,
Yeah.
when we were younger, we loved that.
Right. It
That's
was a new
where,
experience. Yeah. We were,
yeah, where we wanted to feel really sick and
yeah.
feel this
Well,
dizziness.
see, we were
And
talking
now
about
I'm
that.
dizzy. I'm just dizzy when I'm coming up my stairs,
Yeah. We were talking about that before you came in about
Okay.
skydiving. So
All
we
right.
we skydived when I skydived when I was younger,
Mhm.
but I wanted that experience, just like people want to get dizzy on the
The
carnival.
roundabout, yeah.
But I look at it now and I go, no, I don't want to ride on that now. I,
Yeah.
I and but I'm hearing just focusing on a different reality.
Yes, and that's nice,
Yeah,
I like to do yoga. I was
yeah,
just reading before some spiritual stuff, and it also was talking about the darkness, and that in the darkness, it's not only darkness, there's also a spark.
yeah,
So and when you talk about darkness, when you're in the darkness, there is the light. The light is next to the darkness, or this close. And when you focus on the darkness, then it's dark and negative, but if you connect with the light, man, you can see what's in the darkness, because then it lightens up all that stuff, and you can see. That's
yeah,
also like doing the inner work. your inner work inside
Yeah.
of yourself, and it's amazing to see the inside stuff, which
Yeah.
you don't see when you're younger because you're interested in experiencing the outer
Outer,
stuff.
outer, yeah. But the seed is in the darkness, right? The seed is in the
Yes,
ground,
exactly.
but
Yeah,
it's still sparking in the ground.
yeah. And Quentin, you're with 24, it's the best time. When I was 21, I was in India. That's where I connected with my spark. That's the first time because the other day my yoga teacher, she gave me a meditation and she said, and connect with your star. And I said, how does she know that I have a star? It's it's there, I found it, or it came to me when I was in the middle of the desert in India with a bicycle, and all my belongings were just a bag. And I had to stop my bike because I was going from one community to another, and it was going into the ditch because there was sand, and I was sort of slipping. And for a moment, I got so exhausted from what I was doing. And I thought, oh my God, I'm all alone. I'm far, far away from my family, and I'm all alone. And no, nothing is protecting me. I'm totally defenseless. And all of a sudden, I had this imagined star, shining down on me and giving me confirmation that I'm not alone. And it was a very thin connection, a very thin connection. But this
Like a thread,
small moment, huh?
like a thread.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It wasn't bigger than a thread, but it gave me the power to move on, to have the courage and be alone. And it also uh, just said, you're not alone because I'm there and the others are not there. Keep that in mind, more or less, that you're always alone in life, but I'm this star or this light is there in the darkness, and it's always there. And nowadays, when I connect with this light, man, it's bright. It's not a thread anymore. It's like huge, and it's like cozy, and it's like my home. It's like me. It's wonderful. So, and that was like she brought that in this meditation up with the star, and I was so smiling. I said, "Oh my God, it's so true." And now I have this beautiful, beautiful light energy inside of myself because I know this energy will be there even when you die. So cool. It's cool to know, but it has a moment, and maybe for you it's also a moment now. With 24, it's a great time, but it's like also very difficult. It's not easy because you have to still experience what's going on. You still have to um, yeah, go to the edge. Be there alone with your bicycle and drive all alone somewhere and not know what your future is and not what's, you know what you
Hmm.
left, but in
Sounds like a
front of
vision
you.
quest.
Yeah, it's like you have to just move into it.
What what's your take on all that, Quentin? You're as a
Oh,
twin
I'm just
as a
thinking it's pretty cool how it was in those moments when you describe connecting with that light, from your star, when you're
Yeah.
like kind of in that moment of having those feelings like you're kind of out there in the world and the unknown, and I
Yeah.
think that's a a part of this kind of age, for the youngsters like
Hmm.
myself are kind of starting to realize that you're just out there with your bike, you know. Right now
Yeah.
we're just kind of out there in the submarine, but it's kind of similar. You know, you're just
Yeah,
floating around and you're like,
yeah,
what's really solid, you know, what's really
yeah.
connected?
There was no money in my bag, nothing. I didn't even think about it. I don't know. In India, I never thought about having money. Whatever I had appeared, manifested. It's like, yeah, it was a strange time for me because I went from one community in Oroville. It was in Oroville I was in this pioneer city, in this spiritual pioneer city called Oroville, next to Pondicherry. And I moved from a community of people from youngsters from Europe, like Dutch, English, American, and I moved over to another one which was called Utility, and a Mexican guy was in charge of that community. And he invited me over because I had problems with the others. They didn't like me. They didn't like my vibration, They couldn't deal with me because I was like just doing what I wanted to do. I was so online with yourself, and I had the courage to leave there because it just got uncomfortable. I had to move on. So I took the courage, and yeah, on half of the way, I connected with the star, and I was like, wow, and open to see where I'm going. So it wasn't over there. I kept going, I kept going, and I met all the people, all the people you have to meet. They're there. They're already manifested on your path. It's amazing how life actually works. I think it works totally different than we think in reality life works, because it's like all there. And like with this light, it happens to you, it might not happen to another one. They might just get stuck in the darkness. And a lot of Europeans just got stuck in the darkness there.
Did you say you were in Oroville?
In Oroville, yeah.
That's Goldville? You were in Goldville with no money.
All right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. My son is called
You were
Aurelio.
mining different type of gold.
Yeah. I was never worried about money. I don't know. I don't understand why people worry about money. But I think I never had money, so maybe when you have money, you have to worry because everybody wants to take it away from you.
But I hear
But
that
I never saw that Oroville.
worry is a prayer for what you don't want.
Hmm. But it was like I connected Auroville more like with the aura than with gold.
Mhm.
Auro, like Aurobindo. That was the philosopher behind this whole thing. And
But
there
it
was
was
also
but it was spelled Oro.
AUR, like aura.
Oh, Auroville.
Aura.
Yeah,
That makes
aura.
sense.
Okay, that's different.
Hmm. And Aurobindo is an Indian guy. He played a big role in freeing India, and I did read all his books, and this is why I wanted to go to Oroville, because I really liked the idea, and he was with a French lady called Mira, the mother, a French lady. She had like a kind of Waldorf school
What's Quentin
thing.
showing us?
Hmm?
Is that Steiner?
Quentin's showing us something.
I just got this book. It talks about Sri Aurobindo and the mother.
Exactly. That's where I was. Yeah, that's the mother. Yeah, she just, yeah, exactly. And the mother was a visionary. She was very much kind of Blavatsky, she had also this power, this spiritual power, and had the knowledge from Morocco, from the Egyptian kind of era. And she was the partner of him. And they founded Oroville. And when I came, it was 1973. She died with 84 years, but with 80 she started Oroville. So with 80 years old, she started that place where I went to do pioneer working, which connects with Aries again. You know, Aries is the pioneers. These are the people who sort of preparing the path, the new direction. And I went there because I could understand that money is the biggest problem we humans have, actually. That's why we are fighting. That's why we are in turmoil. I don't know. That was my explanation. I thought I would like to pioneer and see how we can live together without having money exchange. So we had all these farms or all these groups of people in fraternity. We were doing crafts, and I had a garden. I planted trees. I planted so many fruit trees in India. It was so much fun. I loved it. So, and while planting these fruit trees, I met this Mexican from the other community who said, "Come over." And with him, I kept on planting because he had the most beautiful garden and very, very Mexican style, you know, like with little jalapas, like with thatched houses. And he said, "Oh, listen, there's this, the cobra lives there, and this bird lives there, and here, wait a minute, in the next moment, there's such and such showing up." So he would know a lot about nature there. And I was fascinated. About nature in India. It's so magic. So I moved over there, and there I was like in charge of 2 milk cows. And the garden, you know, and whatever. Well, and also tourists would come and join in. It was like a community where you could stay. They would, you would exchange your staying with work. You would work on the farm, like do digging or working on the fields, digging ditches and stuff. And in the evenings, we would come together and meditate. About how many people? 12 to 15 people. And everybody had 1 day to cook in the week. So everybody would just sort of, so I would live this community, this different kind of community life there. So
That's
that was
amazing.
really, huh?
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
that was really cool and exciting. And yeah, I mean, in these meditations, I did never meditate before. That was my first experience of group meditation. And we would sit there in this bamboo hut, this hut, you know, this bamboo hut, and in the circle and with flowers all around. And Mali, the Mexican, he would give kind of, he was kind of guiding the thing, and we would hold hands for a moment. Then in the end, and I could feel like the whole group was elevating. It was like, wow, you know, instead of letting go, I was like, wow, I want more of this, you know. This is like what Uranus is, Neptune is giving us when you sort of say yes to these higher vibrations. And then you still don't know if this is real or not real. It doesn't matter. But you had this experience. The others, I don't know, you know, if they had the same experience. But it was my experience that everybody elevated. And holding the hands, I was assuming that all of us elevated. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume that everyone experienced similar thing in
Yeah.
that.
It doesn't matter because it's an energy flow. It's a frequency which does something to everybody to their vibrations, to their ground vibration, you know. Depends where you are.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I hear when Joanne said, I want to stay in that higher vibration.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to stay in there with the map of consciousness and being aware of the lower vibration.
Yeah, that's for an hour
And I
or so.
see Joanne is doing her shadow work.
Yeah, she's hiding in her shadow.
I'm in a house, as I say, I'm dog sitting, so I'm in a house that my computer was about to die. Like it just came on, and I looked and the battery's almost, and I thought, oh no, I don't want to just have this die.
Yeah.
And so I've moved over to a plug-in, so I plugged in my computer, but now it's
I
like,
was wondering
Yeah,
what this view is.
yeah, the shadow looks good.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna, you've got, as I say, I'm emphasizing, you've got to have the shadow to have the light. So here we
Yeah.
are.
Mhm.
Hey,
Yeah.
sorry guys, my battery died.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I was absent for the last 10 minutes trying to get my phone to charge. So
Oh.
I thought
anyways,
you went to the bathroom.
no, I would have left the phone on and brought you with me.
So, Billy, I was just about to ask you a question before you departed.
Yep.
I know that you have initiated an event.
Yes,
Well,
I've
yeah, tell us
initiated an
about
event.
what you're going to do.
So I am going to do a stand at zero here in Calgary at North Glenmore Park. I haven't really scouted out a location yet. It's been kind of cold. So anyways, I do have an idea. I kind of want to be up on the ridge. So the mountains, big vastness, the openness over there. And I've made a Facebook invite page to stand at zero on that day and just letting it marinate right now, and we'll see where we end up and how many people join me on that day. So right now, yeah, it's looking up, and I've been called to it as well. The first half of this month has been really spiritual for me, and planting that seed. So with all of that, the whole stand at zero thing is really resonating with me personally. So even if I'm the only one there, I'm just happy to be a part of it, to be honest with you.
Right on.
Earlier when we were talking about, I can't remember her name right now, that old lady, and the Phoenix came up. And I pulled a card at the beginning of the month. I pull one for the new moon and one for the full moon. And the second card was the Phoenix. and rising out of the ashes and like becoming this beautiful thing, you know. So I'm really just going to take that energy with me. I have noticed this shadow effects lately, I guess you could call it, of the old self trying to pop in and, you know, just saying, hey, you know, I'm still here if you want me, type deal. But, you know, I wouldn't say I'm fighting, but I'm definitely aware of it, you know. And so yeah, I just got to keep to my practice and do the best I can on a daily basis. And you know, I finally got the book to the Mayan Oracle, and I found a lot of insight inside that book, actually, for myself and my personal growth. So yeah, I've been doing some of the mandalas in my meditation, planting the seed. That's one of them, and the other one is the sun, where you put your hands up and you let them feel numb, I guess you could call it, and then you let the sunlight in. So I've been really resonating with this whole seed idea. I did notice the other day that I seen this thing where brain cells are like a plant. And if you look at the Garden of Eden, for example, they had the seed that was planted, and it looks very similar to a brain cell. So I feel like we're planting that seed within our brains, and it's growing new neural pathways, and this flower of life is just exploding inside the brain at the moment for me. So anyways, just little things that I've been kind of resonating with and picking up along the way. So this path has been wonderful for me. So thank you, everyone. And I guess we'll probably see each other before we stand at zero, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's the 29th.
The
The new-
29th. Yeah.
The new-
Okay.
new-
31st.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I have someone here. I'll just mute you guys.
I'm interested in anybody else doing something for the event.
Well, Billy wanted to say something, right? Did he?
No, I think I was kind of done at that time. Yeah, I kind of Danielle showed up to pick up something, so kind of got sidetracked for a sec. But anyways, continue on. Darkness.
Oh,
Yeah.
the shadow.
We see you.
No
I just
more.
have one. I want to have one question for Billy. Is that old self you are friends with, right?
I'm definitely friends with that old self. What I've had to learn to do is to balance out how I activate that person, because there is some good in that old person, right? And that's something that I look at on a daily basis, is how to just manage that. And the old self is more of the, I guess it's really not an old self. It's more of me recognizing when I need to break. And then when I break, I feel like I break, I don't want to say too long, but my body's requiring me to rest. So I'm still kind of dealing with that, trying to let go scenario of that, I need to be perfect. I'm still working with that, and it's a lot easier now, that's for sure. But I do notice that creep in once in a while, since that time change is when I've really recognized it. It's only been those 3 days since yesterday I've been fine, but before that I was just kind of sitting in the darkness, if you want to call it that, this kind of sitting in there being having more thoughts of anxiety and just overthinking life, I guess you could say. But as soon as I meditate, it goes away. So I know how to combat that is kind of where I'm at. But I also didn't work out for 3 days because my body was desperately in need of just a break. And then when I don't work out, my endorphins aren't flowing as nicely, I guess. So there's a lot of things that I got to play with in that sense, but that's kind of where that's at. But yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I did want to say, I'm going to try to bring us to the light. That I really feel the significance of this stand at zero and this Neptune into Aries. I really feel strongly the significance of it. My body feels it, and I will definitely drawn. I will be standing at zero at the high noon somewhere. And Billy, this is the first I've heard about and I'm in Calgary as well. So I would connect with you to get more information on that, but I'm going to have to follow wherever my heart leads me to stand, because I feel the significance of it.
Yeah.
So and so I will connect with you on yours, and I will be standing at high noon at zero. Neptune enters zero Aries. I'll be standing strong somewhere because it's very significant. I feel that. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Are we friends on Facebook?
I don't.
So.
Yeah, I'm not on Facebook. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you're not on Facebook. Okay.
Well, I am. So yeah, send me a friend. I'm not good or spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's just where I have the invitation. That's all. But that's all good. Yeah, if we stand at zero in separate places, it's all good. Maybe more power resonating from different areas of the city might be what we need. So yeah, whatever you choose, I'm okay with.
Okay, for sure. Well, I just acknowledge that anyway. Thanks, Billy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I will also be standing, not sure where yet, but I will be standing at 0.
Yeah, I'm going to stand at 0. I think I'll be standing alone because I'm working with that a lot. And so I want to feel that
Mm-hmm.
that individual standing feels significant with the support of everybody else standing
Yeah. Yeah.
at 0.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah,
Yeah. I
it's very
resonate.
significant
Yeah.
and it just feels right.
Yeah. Yeah. I resonate with that, Steve. Yeah.
Well, guys, it's 11 o'clock my time. Final words.
I would like to say a final word. Happy full moon, everyone, from 3 Con, the tone 3, the third step of the pyramid, up the temple of star harmony. And we're here at the Con, which is like the kind of the yellow seed, the flowering, blossoming kind of innocence energy. And I feel like everything that we shared today was like this divine blueprint of this higher organizing pattern from the lightning path, like a thunderbolt coming down to electrify us all. And I'm so looking forward to the stand at 0 because I have lots of really interesting things happening up until that point with the equinox and the eclipses and some significant gatherings. So I don't know where it'll be, but I have found a lot of sacred sites in this area. So I like to go to this powerful places to connect, and I'll definitely be sending out all those intentions and kind of taking a snapshot in that timeless moment. But that's just like every moment. And yeah, I'm just gonna say it was great to see everyone today, and I'm gonna wish you all very lovely days ahead, and probably see you in 2 weeks. And so thank you for having this awesome presentation meeting today, Dwayne. Thanks everyone.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
So
Yes,
beautifully.
I'm hearing Elton John singing, I'm still standing. I'm still standing. Yes.
And and into the light we go.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Brenda, you had something to share.
Oh, I've got lots of things I could say, but I just want to thank all of you. And since our last meeting, I have read and experienced Power versus Force.
Oh, good.
A lot has come out of it. There's been blessing synchronicities, and I read his own account of his life first, which I don't usually go, but I was directed to go and read that.
Yeah, good one.
And it resonated so deeply with things I'd experienced. So this has been a very profound time, and I can't thank you all enough for all of this. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great.
Very special. Very special.
Barb, I'm going to contact you later on and see what we should be up to.
Okay.
I look forward to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch out.
it. Yeah, watch out. Exactly. I'm a little trepidatious.
I was wondering, yes.
Keep up the good work, you two.
Oh
I'm
my
trusting.
Okay. Yeah.
I love you guys.
Thank you.
Bye all.
Bye.
Bye. See you on your birthday, Steve.
I'm still standing.
All these years.